Welcome home, neighbors.
Welcome home, neighbors.
Hello, neighbors.
We're listening from
Arizona,
Florida,
Maryland, New York, New Jersey,
Indianapolis,
California,
Utah,
Michigan,
Iowa, Massachusetts, Georgia, Canada,
our home resort is
Animal Kingdom,
Polynesian,
State Lake Tahoe,
Old Key West,
Riviera,
Boardwalk,
Alani Resort,
Hilton Head, Boulder Ridge, Copper Creek,
Grand Floridian,
Saratoga Springs,
Beach Club,
and Wilderness Lodge.
and you're listening to
You're listening
to
my
DVC voice.
Well, welcome home, everybody, to the Community Hall Live podcast. My name is Chad, and I am your host tonight. And we lead discussions every Sunday night on Facebook and YouTube here in the DVC community to just get a pulse on things, maybe get into a little bit of fun listener debates, a little back and forth action along those lines. Today's show is brought to you by our friends over at DVC Rental Store, and where you can save thousands on guaranteed reservations. Right now, during this COVID crisis, we have a little bit of an interesting thing going on in the fact that there's a bunch of members that are, maybe they're stuck in Canada or the UK or international, or maybe they just don't feel comfortable going to Disney right now. So for whatever reasons, we have a lot of availability and there's a lot of points out there. We've seen them as low as $10 a point on dvcrentalstore.com. Let them know you heard about them here on the My DVC Points platform. So with that being said and done, I would like to welcome our co-host on to the show tonight, and let's welcome back Alicia. So, hey, Alicia, how you doing tonight?
So excited to be back. Hey, everybody.
Yeah, we're excited to be back. This is like 2 weeks in a row. We're just like over the top, like elated to have you back on tonight.
It's almost travel season. This is the catch between, work is almost done, but, heading on out south soon.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So let's welcome back to the show as well, Mr. Brad Coates. So, hey Brad, how you doing, buddy?
I am awesome. How are you guys?
I am looking forward to another fun night. Okay. We've got 3 good discussion questions tonight. Well, actually 2 discussion questions. And then I have a little project to propose to the community as well. So let's welcome back in Mary Ann as well. Mary Ann, how you doing tonight?
Good. How's everybody?
Doing great. I'm excited to have everybody back here. And let's come back in and check this out. And our first discussion question of tonight is, what are you guys looking forward to most coming back to Disney? We had a really tough week of news, so we're trying to put a little bit of a positive spin on this tonight and say, so what are you guys looking forward to most to come back to Disney?
So are these things that are like guaranteed coming back, or we know they're going to come back like at some point?
Well, we don't know. There's no guarantees. Okay. I mean, it's pretty safe to assume a fireworks show will come back to Magic Kingdom. Okay. It's pretty safe to assume they're not going to rewrite Happily Ever After. It's so new, but you don't know, right?
My hopes and dreams, because I'm a big Halloween fan down there. That's my favorite place in the world. And my favorite celebration in the world is I want that Halloween parade with the grave diggers to come back. I just love the little grave diggers.
Yeah, the Halloween parade. So do you normally go to Mickey's Not So Scary then?
Yeah. Yep. That's it. Yeah. We're there. We're there an hour before it opens, and we're there 20 minutes after they kick everybody out. We love that event.
Awesome. Brad, what are you looking forward to coming back tonight?
Well, I might have to change it, although we were actually going out this time, and it was the first time we were going to get to do Halloween. First time ever, and then it got canceled. So I had to cancel it because of our state. But I am looking forward to one of the things I was going to say, but now they've started that back. And that's the they've just reintroduced the lightsaber.
Savi's Workshop.
At Star Wars.
Yes,
they reopened it. In fact, I just booked it for a client, so he's super excited. So that was on my list. So I think outside of that, I'm a fireworks guy. I love any of the nighttime shows. I loved all of them. I love the Animal Kingdoms. I love Epcot. So I just want to get our nighttime shows back. That's probably the number one thing.
Savvy's, when you've got 20 people all raising a lit lightsaber at the end of that little ceremony at the end, it's pretty breathtaking. I don't know how it's going to do when there's like 4 people doing it due to social distancing. Okay.
Yeah.
They're going to be pretty spread out. So it might lose something in the process, but we'll have to see here. Marianne, what are you looking forward to coming back?
I think fireworks, because we are a fireworks family. We really enjoy the fireworks. I think fireworks, and I really miss the musical shows, all the shows that have music in them, because we're a musical family, and we just really enjoy everything from Hoop to Do to Voices of Liberty to any of that. We miss that kind of thing. So that would be for us on the high end of the list. And please God, I want the parks to be open past 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night.
Oh,
I am a
There you
late
go.
night girl.
Oh yeah.
Now that my kids are all teens and older, we like to sleep in the morning, and we like to rock the parks till midnight, 1, 2 in the morning. And
Riding those roller coasters in the dark, like
so much
I love that.
fun.
They
Yeah.
are.
It's just so much fun. And even if it has to be an after hours party where I have to pay for a party ticket to get in, I don't care. I am very happy to pay that extra price if I can
Those
be in
party
that
tickets
park
are
late.
well worth every dollar. They
They-
really are.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the top on my list would have to be Happily Ever After. Okay. That is one of my favorite shows. Magic Kingdom at night is my favorite park, my favorite time to be there. And so getting Happily Ever After back, and you'll hear at the end of the show why it even has even more meaning to me than you might think. I mean, it'll all come clear, but I'm really looking forward to Happily Ever After coming back. I'm looking forward to Festival of the Lion King coming back.
Oh, yeah.
I really like that show. And when you check out the performers that are in that show, they are freaking ripped. Okay. I mean, they are like in
They need to be.
exceptionally good health. Okay. So they have got to be pulling that off for 8 hours a day or however long their shifts are for performing in that show. It is a pretty physical, spectacular feat as to what they're pulling off. So
And
I
some
always
of
just get
them-
amazed and inspired when I meet those people and see them. And then I guess the third thing that I'm looking forward to coming back is Hoop-de-Doo. Okay. I at least every other trip, we have to do a hoop. Okay. And if we could do it every trip, we'd probably try to figure out how to do it, because my family just loves that show beyond anything else. And to me, that's just quintessential Disney. So it's like all my favorite stuff. Okay. Is they're done at night, and I'm looking forward to that coming back. So let's come back in and pick up some of the crowd reactions to this as well. And Mary says, bring back the Hallow Wishes. Okay. I had to read that one for a second to go, what is that? And then I was like, oh yeah. That's the Happily Ever After version of the Mickey's Not So Scary fireworks show. Okay. It's Hallow Wishes. Okay.
They set the thing on fire. It's like pretty big. It's pretty cool.
My kids would say the green fireworks.
Yeah.
We went to green
The
fireworks.
green fireworks.
Yeah, because
I've got to check that out sometime. So it sounds like that's a pretty phenomenal show.
It's big.
We don't normally go in fall because of a wife teacher schedule, but I find myself going year round now. So so I will come back in and check that out as well. I did see part of the Oogie Boogie's Man Bash over in DCA about a year or so ago when the Galaxy's Edge opened and they moved it over to DCA. So I have been in the parks that night, but that's because it was more for Moonlight Magic time and I was already there. So, and Mark from New York says, I just miss anything Disney, but I'm really looking forward to hanging out at the Copper Creek lobby. Yes, Mark. Yes, that lobby is phenomenal. And Geyser Point as well. I'd have to pick Geyser Point over that. The good news is the lobby is open when you go back, and so is Geyser Point. And it wasn't too difficult to get a table there.
And that's definitely one of the comments that only comes from DVC owners. Oh, I love the
Yeah, I
lobby.
mean,
I can go to the lobby because we get to go a lot. So we love the lobbies. So slow down.
Yeah, that's
enjoy
true.
it.
I mean, yeah, Wilderness Lodge fans may do that as well, but we've kind of taken over the resort. So we now own at least 2/3 of it. So, yeah, it's just a matter of time before we kick them all out of the other side. So Amy was saying park hopping and run Disney.
I agree, Amy.
Oh my gosh, you have never missed park hopping so much in your entire life. Okay.
Yeah.
All of
we can
this
get,
park
annual
reservation
passes back.
nonsense.
I need the annual passes so then I can park hop along with it. Like that whole thing needs to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Bill finally broke down and said you guys could get annual passes knowing that they're not selling them. So
You know his thing. I'm like, come on.
it sounds like something your husband would do, Marianne.
It
So
does sound like something my husband would do.
This is the year. I think this sounds good. This is the year to get them. You can't.
So, and Grant was saying, I agree. He loves Mickey's Not So Scary Party with the parade and the fireworks. And he loves all the fireworks shows as well. And because we're even on the edge for what will come back to Epcot. Okay.
Yeah.
Will it be this Epcot forever, or will it be the next show that they had planned? Okay.
Yeah.
Who knows what they'll bring back there? They've had time to revamp everything. So, we'll see what comes back there, but I'm looking forward to that as well. Night shows. And then Lindsay was saying, I need Ohana to open. I couldn't agree with you more there.
Yes.
Like pot stickers, hit me, right? Bread pudding. More, please. Okay.
You Ohana fans.
Oh, and then Justin says, I have 3 little girls under 5 years old. We will miss all the character interactions.
Yeah.
Justin, you will miss them, but they're still there. They're just a little different these days. Okay. For the little kids, they're not getting up to come up to them and run to them, but it is kind of cool to see the characters interact and play with you from afar. Okay. So I guarantee you'd get a great interaction if you went up to the fence over at Epcot. Joy would love to come in and play with you guys and hang out, and from a nice socially distanced spot with some grass between you. That's always fun, seeing her in new and exciting ways.
I think
And
the
then
cutest one, I was going to say that I think the cutest one I saw when I was out there was Pooh at Epcot out on the grass with a butterfly net, chasing butterflies and kind of interacting with the kids and chasing butterflies with a net. It was incredible. It was so cute.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
That would be cool. I know the Country Bears go up onto their roof and interact with people. And it seems like the Wicked Stepsisters are out on the back side of the castle as well, up top, interacting with people as well. So
I will never forget when Katie was 2, she was scared to death of characters. And it was back when they did the Epcot character spot, had the windows you could actually see in and see the characters. And 2-year-old Katie was standing at the glass watching them because it was very safe. And Goofy saw her, and it was the end of the night, so he didn't have any more people. And he came up and he put his hands on the windows with her and played with her, and she was totally immersed with that. So hopefully you'll get at least some kind of interaction, even though it won't be the hugs and the kisses on the cheek like you're used to. Hopefully some of that kind of play will still be there for your girls and your family. And
I think it will be. I think those cast members and those characters are just spot on and doing what they need to do to make magic happen. And they're really, really good at that. So Liz was saying, looking forward to hearing when, if all the new stuff is going to open.
Yeah.
Ratatouille, Tron, all the Epcot upgrades. That's another one that's kind of a head scratcher. And I kind of get why they're holding off on opening them.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're looking to get this big bang draw of people in, but there's capacity limits and they can't. So it's like we spent millions of dollars creating these new attractions. Do we just like throw them out there and wish for the best?
Right.
Or do we like play those cards strategically when we know we can, draw in the most money and the most crowds?
And with the other upgrades, if they haven't started one yet, if they actually haven't started it, I wouldn't anticipate that you're going to see it, at least not for several years. There's going to be a lot of money that they have to make back up from this experience to make it feasible
next year's anniversary is going to be interesting, isn't it? Because a lot of the stuff that was all geared for that, is it all going to make it? I don't know. We'll see. I hope so.
I hope so, but
that's another really good discussion. I mean, what should they do there? Okay. I'm almost thinking, let's just delay it and call the 50th. We'll celebrate it as soon as it's over with.
Yeah.
And people can really come back in and have the big blowouts.
Right.
You know,
And they might celebrate it for like 2 full years. I mean, they
Yes.
they tend to
It hasn't
prolong
stopped them in the past.
Right.
yeah, normally a birthday is at least 18 months.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
They normally roll those for a solid 18 months. They start at like 6 months early and go to the end of the full year. So we'll see there. And
Right. But I want to see 28,000 cast members come back before I want to see something new in Epcot. I'm just being real honest with you there.
I hear you.
yeah.
I
That's
agree.
Yeah.
Another topic.
Yep. So Mary is saying late night hours, and Scott's here with her. I missed the parks being open till midnight and then after hours till like 2 a.m.
Yes.
Yep, Scott, you are talking my night owl language there, buddy. And then Trent says he's with me with Festival of the Lion King. That is just such a phenomenal show. I don't do it every time, but at least every other time. Okay. And I've pretty well got it timed to where you don't do it at first thing in the morning. Because what happens is everybody who goes into rope drop Flight of Passage, that big crowd leaves Flight of Passage and comes up that backside and then pegs it out in the morning. So from what I'm told from the CMs that work there, you're better off coming back in 2, 3 o'clock, one of the later shows in the day.
Yep.
We always do that anyway because it's hot. You know,
Yeah.
my nap time theory, although you can't sleep through that one, but you know, my nap time theory, all the shows in the afternoon when it's hot.
Yeah. Yep. And then Kathy was saying closing at 6 or 7 is painful. We love to park hop, go late evenings. That's another vote for late evenings as well. And then another vote for late evenings and the good night kiss.
Oh, the kiss
Yeah.
goodnight. Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Yes. Right. And then somebody's
Touched my watch.
Well, I don't think that was the good night kiss, but appropriate.
we'll give you some timing points there, but not quite full credit. Okay.
No, not quite.
Yeah, Trent saying happily ever after, and then fireworks. Okay. Oh my gosh, Dan, this first year of my wife just finally got to go to candlelight processional last year. And she's just like, Chad, we have to do this every year going forward. Like we have to do this. We have to take your mom. We have to come back in. It's a phenomenal deal. It's worth a trip just to go to that in and of itself. And I'm like, yep. Okay.
So bummed I missed it. My one of my best friends, their son was in it last year. And I'm like,
Oh, cool.
I should have.
Yeah.
Wish I would have known. I would have gone.
Yeah. And then Gina is saying that she's with Dan. Candlelight is so special at Disneyland Resort. Yes, that is. And so, man, we even have Disneyland open by Christmas. Okay.
Gina.
I've been planning my trip for 3 years to go take my family to Disneyland. And we bailed it 2 days ago going, it's not going to happen for Thanksgiving. So,
yeah. And then Epcot Forever was awesome from Courtney. And so Renee's also with me. She wants Hoop-de-Doo back, strawberry shortcake, and fried chicken, please. Yes. Yes. Hit me. Okay.
and their ribs, they got ribs too.
Yes. And then another vote for bread pudding at Ohana. And then Judy was saying that she just ate at Geyser Point and loved it.
Oh.
And then Lorraine is saying love happily ever after as well. So yeah, I think the consensus was we want our nighttime stuff back. Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
like, okay, I've done one trip there. I got 2 more trips coming in during COVID to kind of like make sure that I've had the mask experience as well. So yes, I've done it. Okay. I'm now ready to get my nighttime shows back. Okay. Like I've done my good job as a corporate citizen here and have spent my money at Disney and came anyways. Right. Now it's time to gain my shows back, guys. Like,
I think
come on,
it'll
figure
help
it out.
the lines too, because like the lines are getting bigger now. So by extending some hours, then that can give people some options. Even if it isn't park hopping, at least you can go take a nap at the pool and go back at night.
Yeah.
Plus, Chad, I think you give a vote on this one. The trip we were out there at the same time. It's not just the parks. Disney World shuts down. It's like once you get past 9, there's nothing to do. There's nothing. Everything's closed down.
I kept I kept wondering, I'm like, why are all these people on property tuning in and commenting on the show? Like Mouse Quiz would light up with people saying, I'm here, on property. This
There's
show,
nothing to
people would be
do.
saying, and I'm just going, okay, well, chill out at Geyser Point and stream along with us, guys. Okay, we'll come back in and talk Disney. So
Did the hot tubs close down early?
Don't remember if the pools were open later.
I don't
Seemed like
yeah.
I don't. I'm
I'll
usually a
let you
hot tub
know.
guy. I wasn't this last trip, so you let us know. Yeah.
got it. Well, let's shift gears here and go into our second discussion question tonight. And so, what is your most magical cast member moments? Okay. And I'm going to save mine till we transition over to the third segment. Okay. And I've got to go full screen and tell a story there. It's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome. But I want to hear what you guys are. If you're out there watching, take the time, write it in there. We'll read them all. And those of you on screen, what are some of your favorite magical cast member moments? Because we want to celebrate the cast. Okay. And I know a few of them are tuning in tonight. And we want to really just send, hey guys, we're there for you guys and we love you guys and appreciate you an awful lot. We can't wait to bring you guys back. So Alicia, what do you got for us?
Okay, and so I don't know a human, like I don't know their name, but they were just amazing. There was always people that were walking around, like giving pins or things like that were just making your day like, wow, that's amazing. They just took that extra step. But one of them that was really huge is it was, of course, at Halloween time, and we all went and to the Pirate League down, and all of us, like I even got my husband to get decorated up as the Pirate League. And then we were walking around the park. We just walked out and a cast member came up and they said, wow, that's such a great, family costume, because we were all decked. And they gave us this popcorn bucket, which was pretty cool. I'm a popcorn girl, right? And so this is what it looks like over by the mine train. And they gave us free popcorn for the entire night that we were there. So it was like some magical bucket, and we got to go around and get popcorn the whole night. And Gina's, she's got some pictures of us that you can see it. I don't know if you guys have ever done this, but Izzy would not be a pirate. She was going to be a mermaid, of course, and she had to take an oath to make sure that she wouldn't eat us while we were all pirates.
Nice. I don't think Pirate League is there anymore, but that looks like so much fun.
It was last year, but I think they just shut it down for the COVID time. So hopefully it comes back.
Hopefully it does come back, because that was kind of like the yin and yang there to
Bobbity Boo Boutique.
Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like something for the guys to come back in and do. And it was on my bucket list to have us all go through there one night. And because you don't really age out of that one, okay?
Nope.
Whereas Bibbidi Bobbidi
Anybody could do
Boo,
it.
you can age out of, right?
Yes.
So we put all the emphasis and all the budget on Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo while the girls were, or the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique while the girls were little, okay? Right. And then we planned on doing this back, and it just didn't work, okay? We just couldn't work it all out. But I wanted to do that and then go do the Pirates and Pals cruise at night, that same night.
Oh,
yeah.
Right. So
that's
that when
perfect.
We got our full Pirates gig and costume. And
it was so great. We've done it twice, and it's a riot of a good time. And their makeup artists are fantastic. And like how you did for the Star Wars thing, they all you had to take an oath, and you had big photos, and you all got names. It's great. It was great.
Wow.
That's
awesome. So Brad, any special favorite memories? I know you've got a couple. You shared some on the podcast with us.
I know. Is there any way I can do two? I'll make them fast.
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. I'm going to do the first one real fast. And I didn't even share this one with you on the podcast the other day. Our second Disney cruise, kids were probably 9 and 13 at that point. It was a short, we worked it out. Disney cruises they're a different price point. So we didn't get to do a lot of those early on. But so anyway, we were on a 4-day, right? So we had a quick trip down, stop at Nassau, stop at the Castaway Key, and then a day at sea. Well, limited budget. We planned everything out. We spent all of our money on excursions when we stopped. And the last day was going to be a day at sea. Well, we woke up in the morning to an announcement that said, well, due to weather conditions, we're so excited to announce to all of you that you get a second day at Castaway Cay. Isn't that wonderful? And which sounds great. I mean, it's usually what everybody loves, but for us, it was like, okay. And I actually went down to customer service and I said, guys, just to give you a heads up, I'm not fussing because you're doing what you got to do, but not everybody's excited about this because there's certain things you can only do on the ship at sea, right? They're closed when you're in port. So all the stuff we had planned for the kids to do at sea, they couldn't do any of it. And we'd already spent our excursion money. So now I was like, well, go sit on the beach. And well, comes to find out, we went to guest services and the guy running guest services on the Dream, he looked familiar, but he looked at my daughters and said, Katie, Patty Joe, how are you doing? He had been one of the workers in the kids club on our first Disney cruise on the Disney Wonder.
Wow.
2 years before.
And he knew their names?
He knew their names. He recognized them. And it was like, I mean, every one of us were like, did he just do that? He's got a camera in our room. We're being stalked. I mean,
he got like a secret magic band reader. He's scanning you from afar. Like,
but he was so cool. And he said, guys, I am so sorry. And we're sorry that you missed out and all of that. And we just hope you have a good day. And we understand. We do get it that it's not we hope you enjoy the island. Well, about a half hour later, we get a call in our room and it's him on the phone. He says, I was talking to my manager and we've decided that because of what you guys lost out on, the cruise line is providing your children with the all-teen day. They do this excursion on the island, if you've ever seen it, for teenagers, where they go on a bike ride with all the teenagers off the boat. They go snorkeling. They do like 4 different things, and it's all with the teens on shore doing it together with their pals. Wow. And I said, we're providing this for you. I forget, they gave Carrie and I something on shore and said, just have a great day. And I was like, you don't have to do this. I wasn't saying this to try to get something out of you. And he said, no, we just really want you to have a great day. So we want you to do this. Please do this. Well, didn't end there. When we got done with an incredible day on the island, we came back, opened up the cabin door, and the bed was piled up with stuffies, candy, everything you can imagine. They had gone nuts in the gift store buying my 2 girls everything. So that was story 1. But now we're going to go to the biggie. Here we go. Here's the drum roll. We're going to try this. We're going to try
that biggie?
That was the little one.
That was pretty big.
I need more popcorn.
Here's the one. If you've ever heard me on a podcast, and I know Chad's heard me talk about this before, this is the one that started it all. So can you see that on your screen? Gina's going to share it right now, I think. Can you share it?
Aww.
Yeah, there you go.
So this is my baby girl, Patty Joe. She was 4 months old. That was her first trip and our very first trip ever as a family to Disney. I did not like Disney. Just being straight. I had been a youth pastor in LA for 7 years, taking 50 screaming teenagers to Disneyland. There was nothing magical about it. So I just never had, I had no love of Disney. And my wife said, my mom wants all of us to bring the kids. And I'm like, Patty's 4 months old. She's too young. We're going to be walking around with a baby. Are you insane? But she wanted to go. So we went. So we went through Minnie's house, right? You've all been through Minnie's plastic house. We came out the other end. Actually, we hadn't gone through the house. She was out on the porch taking pictures, right? So we got in line. It was our turn. When she saw Patty Joe, she stuck her big old white mitts out and just started going, give me the baby, give me the baby, give me the baby. My wife looked at her like, I don't know about, she looked at me like, I don't know about this. I said, I don't either. So we handed her Patty Joe. She took Patty Joe in her arms, and my little girl started cooing and giggling, and she was having a blast in Minnie's arms. And all these people standing in line were watching this, and they're going, isn't that cute? That's wonderful. Now move along. I want pictures from my child with Minnie. But Minnie Mouse was not having it. And for about 4 or 5 minutes, she stood on that porch and just, tickled her and got her to giggle and loved on her. And finally, after about 5 minutes, she reached up, waved to the crowd, And she basically, at that point, stepped back into her plastic house, sat down on that plastic couch, holding our baby girl, and for another 15 minutes, loved on our daughter while we bawled like babies. And we walked out of that place. And before we left Disney that day, I looked at my wife and I said, with what we do for living, finding those special moments for our kids is tricky. They have to live out my lifestyle, and that can be hard on them. And so I said, I have no idea how we could ever afford to do this. We're going to do this every year. That little baby now is 21 years old. She's done something Disney at least once every year of her life. For 21 years, we've done cruises, Aulani. We've been to Disney World, Disneyland. We are a Disney family because of that right there. So that is the ultimate magical moment right there.
I'm sure Minnie Mouse needed it just as much as the baby did.
She must have been a new mom. She must have been. The way she was just reacting to that baby. Of course, I've had people tell me now, they would never do that now because of liabilities and holding the baby to those hands. We were shocked too. But
I don't know. But Minnie needed that moment. So that was good.
That's
it was cool.
That's
so
the best.
Yeah. Ruined us.
Yeah.
Cost me my retirement. Thanks a lot.
Sorry.
I'll be selling.
That was really loud.
I'll be a Disney travel agent for the rest of my life till I die because there's no way I can stop working.
Oh, absolutely.
That's all right. I don't mind.
Boy, they just got you good. Not only did
They
they
did.
take your retirement, then they recruited you to come sell for them for
Look at
30
that. years.
Okay.
They sucked me in.
Yeah.
That's awesome, Brad.
Marianne, what's some of your favorite cast member moments here?
There are two, and Gina has the picture of the first one, and I was never so sad as when I found out that the Royal Merrymakers were gone from Disney. Because to Katie Tracy, this moment right here, she completely, at 9 years old, believed in the magic that day. She hook, line, sinker, watched the two men go up and try to get the sword out of the stone, and they were very strong. And then when they picked her, she was like, me? And then she was like, so she came up and she looked at it and she went, those guys couldn't do it, Mom. And then Mom, it was really heavy, but I tried really hard and I got it. And you can just see all of how she's working so hard in that picture on her face. And just, and Lady Llewellyn's surprise. But the best part of it was when it was over, Katie was done and she took Lady Llewellyn by the hand and she said, where can I get the sword to take home?
Where's the gift shop?
And so Lady Llewellyn said, well, I think I know right where they have them. And so they went and Lady Llewellyn spent another 20 minutes shopping with Katie for the perfect sword. That one wasn't good enough. And this one wasn't good enough. And she found the least expensive sword. And Disney sent my daughter home with a sword that day because she needed a sword in the stone. So there was that one. And then my mom's favorite character memory, and it's always characters for our family. My mom's very favorite. And she talked about this till the cancer ate her brain to the point where she couldn't talk about it anymore, was the day. It was January 1st, 2017 or 16. And we walked into the park at Rope Drop. And at the hub is Mary Poppins standing there with no one there to talk to her. And Katie Tracy and Mary Poppins had a 15-minute conversation just about the day and Mary Poppins and all of her Mary Poppins, ness. And Katie ran back to us and said, that was a superfragilisticiaspialidocious moment, Mom. I can't believe the real Mary Poppins is here. And, it was just the fact that, and my mom said, you know what? Marianne, I really thought that was Mary Poppins too. That just felt like a Mary Poppins. How she talked to Katie and patted her on the head and measured her up and all of that. And so, cast members make Disney not your average theme park. Cast members are what make Disney what it is. And we are so blessed to have the opportunity for my family to get, because of DVC, to get to go every single year and have just multiple different experiences like this. And I
They
just
make it
can't.
so we're not a number. We are a guest.
We are, and we're their family. We're just a part of the great big Mickey Mouse Club. You know, I feel like we're all a part of the club. You know, when we used to sit and watch it on TV and go, I just want to be in the Mickey Mouse Club. You know, when we were kids, it really is like we're a part of it and we belong there. And the cast members make that for us. And I just feel like that's such a blessing. And I cannot wait till everything is open and rolling again so everybody can come back to work. So
Yeah, I am looking forward to that as well. Let me come back in and touch on some of these stories here. And so Amy was saying, and this isn't the first time you hear so many Hilton Head fans just go on and on and on, but she's saying Cassie, the naturalist at Hilton Head Island, is amazing. She loves all the staff. They made their entire last trip. They can't wait to go back and see her and again in December. And she has my dream job. And I know one of the naturalists over at Vero is what inspired Donna Bickett's daughter to become in like major in animal sciences.
wow.
And she now works at Animal Kingdom. Last I heard, she was working at Animal Kingdom. I haven't checked in. That's one cast member I haven't checked in on yet. But she's there as well. And it was that kind of a transformative story. And so Mark has a story here about 28 years ago on his honeymoon at Polly that there was some kind of problem with the smoke detector. And they came back to the park and found all kinds of fruit assortments, champagnes as a guest recovery tool. And just to say, apologize and do that. And so that's a generally cool story that we see them do time and time and time again.
Mm-hmm.
And Ron says, first one's in the AM, waiting to meet Celebration Minnie and Mickey at Magic Kingdom for his wife's 50th. It was very important to her, and an astute cast member noticed and secretly walked us through a special entrance. Had my wife knock on the door, to which Mickey opened and walked us into the photo area. What an amazing memory
Cool.
as well.
That's so cool.
Awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. And that's what sets Disney apart, because that's a cast member who went above and beyond there, didn't have to get permission, didn't have to do anything else, and it didn't cost them a dang dime extra. Okay, that's just a cast member being phenomenal as well. And so Grant is coming back in and saying, so many great cast member interactions, definitely made every trip for us. Some special character ones. On one moment with Merida, consistent service above and beyond, the server at Concierge at Wilderness Lodge, amazing interactions with the Disney cruises. Connor entertained him with Southern jokes on 2 separate cruises, and he cannot encapsulate all of the amazing experiences in a simple text. Yeah, we've kind of have the benefit on screen of kind of telling our stories here as well. Yeah. And so coming back in, Sandy says so many magical moments randomly come about every trip, from pulling the sword in the stone, paper fast passes, waking the tiki birds. I think I've heard Sandy tell that story before, how they got to come back in and wake up the birds in the attraction one day. Riding the carousel with the stepsisters, free Okana takeout when we didn't make the room service cutoff. And then playing on the Menahune Trail with Moana in Alani. So, yeah.
So awesome.
And she summarizes it up right here. It really is the cast members that keep us coming back every year after year after year. They're the magic. And so that's kind of what we're trying to come back in and stress tonight. And Trent is saying, we've experienced many cast member moments. The one that sticks out recently, when I was picked to be in the Festival of the Lion King show. I've watched it for years and never thought I would be picked to be in the show. It made the trip extra special, and I will never forget it. Yeah, that's really cool how they pick one person to be like the leader of the elephants and that kind of part as well.
Yeah, my girl's a good pick for that, but
yeah, not you, huh?
no, me. No. They're too cute.
One of my most magical memories was at 1900 Park Fair in February, when my then 3-year-old was picked to dance with Cinderella.
Oh man. Would that
And
be
yes,
awesome?
and Apparently, there's a comment here from Andy that I didn't see or didn't read or didn't make it here, but she says, Andy Berry, so true and so sad. Maybe she's talking about earlier on with California being closed. Okay. And okay. So I'm going to go full screen here just because I kind of need the screen to share this story. I really haven't done it too awful much, but so quite often in the podcast, I sit down and I talk with people about their favorite Disney memories. And I ask people this a lot, and very rarely do I ever try to like come back in and interject my own story in, because I'm about interviewing people and getting their stories. I did answer the Tinkerbell question on DCL podcast. It should be airing this week, next week, sometime really soon. So I've got a really cool answer to that. And this favorite Disney moment, not going to say it's my favorite, but it is definitely up there in the top 3. So back in 2017, if those of you remember some of my story, I lost an incredible amount of weight coming into 2016, 2017. And it's really what helped me get the confidence to come in and start this podcast. Okay. So I'm there at Terry Weaver's event, and we're hanging out in the parks one day. And I noticed this one person who's just incredibly cool. She is just an incredibly nice person. And when you've grown up kind of on the overweight side, you kind of get that ugly duckling mentality. And I kind of had that. Okay. And I started just becoming friends with this person. And I realized over the course of a time, really coy about her job and what she did. But come to find out, she was a cast member. Okay. And as the days go on, because we were like hanging out in the park 3-4 days, I come back in and I become pretty good friends with this person. And I realize she's in entertainment. Okay. And then time goes on and I start to realize she got a pretty decent job in entertainment. I hadn't figured out what it was. And then I figured out it was with the entertainment and Happily Ever After. And then I start to figure out, okay, I put all of these things together and I just kind of had to pin her down and ask her. And I'm like, so it sounds like from all these things that I'm piecing together here, you must be friends with Tinkerbell. And dragging, avoiding the answer, the question, and come to find out, yes, that's the case. And so it's just like, oh my God, like I've become friends with Tinkerbell. And since then, we've become friends. We still interact. I got yelled at for the last trip for not telling her I was coming there. She's been very influential because when you're not kind of feeling like you're on the outsider and then you go, hey, look, this person's a Disney A-lister. Like she gets on stage and performs and 50,000 people lose their stuff the moment she gets on stage. This is like one of the cool kids in Disney, and I get to like hang out with them and be friends. Not only did she do that, but she's also an artist. Okay. She helped design the My DVC Points logo that you see up in the corner here. I guess this corner. I always lose my left and right. When we started Mouse Quiz, she came back in and, heard me struggling and talking about that in some inner circles. And she came up with the picture and the graphics for the logo here on Mouse Quiz. Let me see if I can find it and throw it up there. Yeah, there we go. That's all her kind of work as well, because we wanted something that was magical. It had a hidden Mickey in it, and if you focus on the red, you'll kind of see it, but it wasn't over the top Disney. And so she's been so influential in everything that I've done throughout this whole deal. And I checked in with her a couple weeks ago or a couple days ago, and I found out that, they finally got furloughed because they haven't been able to do their jobs or work in forever and a day. And so somebody in the community came back in and did a very gracious gift to me and gave me some points and said, hey, this is a Copper Creek cabin stay, but I've got some additional points. And they really want me to do the review show on Copper Creek Cabin, so I'm not allowed to cancel that back. But I did get some additional points, and I've been saying for a while, we should be coming back in and considering some of these cast members if we've got points we can't use. And so I started talking with some of them, and they all said, if we could get a night at Poly, that's kind of our dream job. It was consistently like this person, Rob Lott, some of the others. And so my ask is like, hey, look, if you can't rent your points out, which I'm a firm believer in DVC Rental Store and renting your points out through them, if they can't help you find somebody to rent these points, drop me a note, because I know cast members that are there that are local that would absolutely positively love to just get a night at the Poly that we take for granted because we're DVC members and we go the entire time. And then I thought about it a little bit more, and I thought, you know what, if we're going to do that, we need to come back in, and these people haven't been working for months as well. So their main gate pass expires December 4th for everybody who's been on this last list of layoffs from what I'm told. So why don't we figure out a way that we can come back in and like use some points, get them a night at Poly or whatever resort, and then get them a gift card to at least cover their meals for a dinner and a breakfast the next day. Is just a thank you gift from here in the community. And when I talk with my Friend of Tink friend, that would like mean the world to them, because apparently there's 5 Friends of Tinks that are of the happily ever after Friends of Tink fame. And they're all kind of struggling as well with what do we do next and how do we reconcile this? So this would be my ask in the community. And I don't think of myself as an influencer and try to exercise influence very often. But if I ever had some influence that I could ask for, I'm going to ask for it now, that if you've got points, that you contact me and let me figure out how we can make some magic for some of these cast members that are struggling because they haven't been working. Because I know they would love to come in and do this. And then as well, if you want to contribute so that we can help get them a gift card so that they can pick up a meal for family dinner or breakfast the next day as well, I'd encourage you to use my PayPal account as well. And I think Gina's going to be putting that up here as well. You can just send some money at paypal.me/Chad Pennycuff, and we'll make sure that it gets over to those people as well. And I'll have some accountability on me as well from the team. We'll be logging into my account. You'll be seeing everything that comes in and goes out. I'll do that with the entire podcast team, or if anybody else really wants to see it, there's not a lot there in that PayPal account. So that's my ask for tonight. And that is my favorite magical memory. So the story goes on for the magical memory part was not only did I get to meet Tink, okay, but it's a level of Disney mythological awesomeness that since I've become friends, quite often I'll figure out when the nights that she's working, and that's the night my family has to go to Magic Kingdom. Okay. It's like not an option, because afterwards she comes down and I get to ride Peter Pan's flight with a Friend of Tink. Okay. And I can't show you pictures because she likes keeping her identity completely in the off, but I've got pictures of me and my Friend of Tink, and you can actually see the pixie dust glitter in her hair. And for me, it's a picture that's just really special to me. I can't share it because she asked me not to, but if you guys could come back in and help step up and we could do something for these cast members that they're just in dire times. Disney is their life, and now they've been let go from the company and they're kind of struggling. So that's my ask. And I'd like to see if you guys could come back in and help out with that. And let's bring the rest of the crew back in as well. So let me come back into this view. And so, yeah, I haven't even looked at comments in a while as well.
Great memories. I loved it, Chad.
Yeah. So, Brad's on mute. And
Brad's talking and he's on mute.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Crybaby Pastor. Thanks a lot. But just so
that
you
is
know,
one of my.
I was going to say
Go
the
ahead,
count
Brad.
isn't empty. The count isn't empty anymore. So I started it up. Everybody, get in there, quick! Stack that thing up.
Awesome. And as Mary points out for them, it's not just a job for the cast members. These are people that are so dedicated to what they do. They're really making less money than they could optimally make in life working for Disney, saying, but part of my paycheck is I get a job that I love and I get to come back in and make magical memories for everybody else as well.
It is
So-
dream jobs. Like they have amazing dream jobs. Like those are life, like it's a life of amazing moments.
Yeah, so that's pretty much our show tonight, guys. PayPal.me/Chad Pennycuff if you want to join in and contribute here. If you've got points you can't use, let me know. I know it would do an awful lot of good. And you can also send me an email for points donations, mydvcpoints@gmail.com. And again, I do recommend you try to come back in and rent the points out if you can. If you can't, let's not leave a single point go to waste. And I know November 30th, a bunch of these points got extended. And looking at the availability calendar, Poly is pretty well sold out on weekends, but there's all kinds of availability Sunday through Thursday. And it's less points per night, so we can help out more people. So I say we come back in and really see what we can do to do that as well.
It's a great idea.
And with that being said and done, Jennifer says, thanks for sharing. And with that being done, I think we're going to wrap up this show. Again, I hope you guys can listen and come back in and contact me, because we've really got an opportunity to do something great right now. Thanks, everybody. We'll be back next week. So good night.